Hello everybody on YouTube, welcome to week 5 of PGBL. This week's opponents, I was supposed to be rematching the Sydney Sylveons, but stuff happened, and we had a new tier in place for them, which is actually going to be the Blackthorn Frogadiers, and they are our technical rematch, even though we've never actually played before. It is, for the most part, a very similar roster. They didn't swap out too much. They did make some key swaps, which kind of made things a little bit easier mentally in terms of, you know, how to pick my team accordingly. But I can talk about those decisions when we get to there. And then I didn't make a locker room for this week either. It's been just kind of busy up until, you know, vacation week. So for like this week and then the next week after that, I probably won't be making locker room videos. But after that, I think we should be good to go. So I think I kind of kept him waiting a little bit longer than he probably would have liked to. Okay, no, he's good. He says, I believe everything is ready to go on my end. Excellent. So just wanted to make sure that was good. And let's see. I will decide the battle rules. Get a little nervous again. I always get nervous for these things. I need to put my 3DS on this side, too. I don't want to fucking disconnect again. It's really annoying when that happens. In which case, I might as well just move everything to the other side, then. So let's do that real quick. And then we'll move OBS over here. Move this to this side. Twitch over here. Discord over here. Alright. Looks good. And then the team I'm actually going to be using for today's game is... Let's go ahead and pull this up. So we got Silvally, Gengar, Medicham, Smeargle, Zygarde, and Starmie joining us for some fun today. Now let's see how it goes. Very nervous. Always nervous. But we got a dog, so it should be okay. That's usually what I tell myself. Win or lose, I got a dog. I got a good dog. He's a good dog best friend. My Twitch chat's like, no alliteration with this opponent. That's like half the fun of League teams, but it makes sense. It makes sense why you wouldn't. But it's way more fun if you do. Yeah, I was legitimately kind of shocked. My Twitch chat is saying that they were kind of shocked I got Smeargle. That was a very late pick. I don't think people realized he was PU at the time, since usage wasn't too high for him. But it turns out he's actually... I have a lot of versatile mons going on my lineup. Zygarde's kind of the only one-trick pony, but it's okay, because, you know, you don't need multiple tricks on Zygarde. He does, like, one or two and he does them well. It's really all you got to worry about with him. So, just kind of waiting for him to keep finishing selecting here. And I think we should be good to go from here. Zygarde does 1,000 tricks. Hey! Okay, so he did bring Umbreon. He did not bring Gliscor. He brought Skarmory, definitely. And he does have Jolteon. Okay. Potential leads. Let's see. So I'm actually going to go ahead and screenshot this for myself. I feel like this will be the equivalent of writing it down, and will still help me out pretty well there, too. So let's see, in terms of what I think would be ideal here. Let's try... Lord. There are a few potential Scarfers in here. There's about one or two that I'm thinking it's pretty much going to be either Victini or Mesprit. He does not have Mienshao, which is something I was kind of fearing. But Mega Mawa on Victini is just really good. They were the two mons that I was fearing he was gonna bring, but honestly, they're his two OU, so it stands to reason that he would bring them, since they match up fairly well. And we're good to go. Anyways, prayers. I don't get shit frozen again. So that's what happened against my my opponent in this game, or not, in week 3. This matchup, I got frozen. And as you can see, I'm immediately leading off with Medicham. Now, my question is whether or not he's gonna immediately want to let this thing take damage. I also don't know what kind of Skarmory this is he has going on. Interesting times. I do think it's Helmet, though. But I would like to get my Mega going sooner rather than later. That way, if I need to risk a potential tie, or I can be faster than Mesprit base before Scarf. And he does switch. He doesn't want to take this damage. All right. Nice Mesprit. So it looks like he's got a Skullgirls nickname going on, which I can definitely respect. I'm a big fan of Skullgirls. And this is... okay, this is lefties. So I don't have to worry about Scarf Mesprit here. I am kind of fearing Thunder Wave here. So I don't want to bring that in directly. Do I have that? I do. Okay, so this is a good mid ground. We'll see what happens here. I feel like he could go for Stealth Rocks. Yeah. That's fine too. I have revealed my Silvally type to him as well. Okay. And he's switching out into Sekhmet would be Umbreon. Okay. Well, if I'm gonna do anything here, it should probably be now. The one thing I do want to do is he doesn't know my set, so I would very much like to do anything possible here. And we have Parasol coming back in, which is Skarmory. So here's something I'm going to try to do here. I'm not sure how well it's going to work out, but I need to let him know what's up. I have my webs up, and he has a lot of defoggers, is my main problem here. So getting him up on Skarm is going to be tricky. But if he tries to defog them away, I have defog here. So that's actually just fine here too. And now I can just immediately start going for... I can just click buttons. Because if he wants to defog here, he will, he'll let it take damage. Alright. He's just chipping. And from here, he's basically shown me from here that I think he's still in... I don't know if the effect stays when I'm around. But he'll roost. I can't let him get these away. So I'll go for it again. He'll more than likely switch, but I don't want him getting rid of them. Yeah, he tried defogging. And now, my friends, okay, so the user has to remain in battle. Alright, so we do take a Brave Bird here, unfortunately. It's not damage I really wanted to take. Does he have any... He doesn't have... He does have Jolteon. This is something to consider. Which is why I'm actually going to opt to go for the Scald instead. It's very tempting to go for the Thunderbolt, but this is an analytic... Yeah. So we'll go for this. No burn. And I feel like he may wish here. If he foul plays, that's fine. That Starmie did do a pretty... Or, not the Starmie, excuse me. The Skarmory did a pretty considerable amount with Brave Bird. But... the thing to consider is it is a Brave Bird. Even if it came off of a Smeargle, it would still do a decent amount. So, I'll get these rocks off the field. And I'll see what he wants to do here. And he does foul play. So I have rocks and web up right now, and I need to be able to get through Umbreon as well as Umbreon is gonna be a little bit of a problem here. Now, I don't want to reveal that I have high jump kick, because I have shown Drain Punch in previous weeks. But on the other hand, he now doesn't really have he doesn't have a lot of switch-ins to this, especially because I have web up now. And honestly, I still wouldn't be too opposed just to learn whether or not he has Protect. Even though they usually do, but honestly, you know, Wish, Foul Play, Heal Bell, Toxic without Protect. So yeah, there's the Protect. I personally think he should have done that on the next turn, because I was very obviously going to fake out there to try to get some chip anyway. And now I just click a move. If he wants to risk it, which I don't think he will, I'd like to see how much it does to this. That is not really much of a switch at all. That's doing a lot of damage. But I don't know what else he could have. I wasn't really keeping track of how much that did either. Let's see, so high jump kick with stab is down to 90. I don't know if this is something I want to mess with. Because he could have Thunder Wave as well. Is my main issue here. Or he could just set up the Stealth Rocks again. I don't have any immediate benefit into going for Thunder Punch. Or Ice Punch, for that matter. It kind of just benefits me to just go for a high jump kick. Okay, so that didn't pay off too well for him. I'm really glad I stayed in that case. Because now I can kind of go for whatever I want here. And all it took was a knockoff, and it's not the end of the world there. Anything that comes in that I'm kind of scared of, we'll take we'll take Stealth Rocks and we'll take Sticky Web, so I think he expected to knock off predicting the switch, so this is fine. I'll take out the Mesprit, which means that I have Zygarde's gonna have a little bit easier breathing room with one less Ice Beamer. And I think my main problem is if Skarmory comes in right now. If Skarmory comes in and defogs, he can very freely do so without any consequence. But would he do it? There's two very valid plays he has here. There's actually quite a few valid plays he has here. I'm just curious which route he's gonna go. He shouldn't go Umbreon or Skarmory, in my opinion. Is my thing here. But the Medicham is in, which is a huge plus. There is one damage calc I'd like to do real quick while he's taking his time. So let's try... Okay. Let's see. So let's do that, and then we are Jolly. That is unfortunately not doing nearly enough. I don't really know what he wants to do here. But I have a dog here for this. Yeah, he can't make this too safely. Even if he wants to U-turn, I think I should be okay. I got the hazards off on my end, and if he V-creates, you know, we have this guy here for this. He's special. But as you can see, not... I think he might be Z, whatchamacallit. So... Because that Blue Flare literally didn't... He could be Scarf Special as well. That is something to keep in mind. Silverly looks really cool with the blue eyes. Blue Doggo. Blue Doggo. And I've got a lot of bulk going on this guy. So... Skarm's gonna come in. Take a Surf. Which is Stab. And then, here's the cool part. He was probably expecting a physical hit there, but... I am running a special one, which is a little unfortunate for him. And now he's pretty much at the mercy of this dog. I really hope he doesn't suspect a move pool going on this thing, because this dog, let me tell you, has many, many tricks. This dog is my favorite dog for a lot of reasons. So, there is one Mon that I think he might switch into. But Silvely's move pool is so huge right now, it's probably got to be pretty tough on his end, in terms of thinking what I could have. And the Skarm being at such a low amount of health, I'm getting a free hit on a lot of stuff. And I do think... I'm going to try to say this as humbly and as modestly as possible. I think that Silvely was in a really good spot on that turn. So... he does get Sticky Web here. This is fine. Get a little bit of Stealth Rocks as well. And then I've revealed that I have Flamethrower. Which ultimately, no big thing. And then... unfortunately, I can't really do much this. So... let's see. It's pretty much free into Medi. And the temptation is very much there to high jump kick. But he could just as easily stay in and protect. I do have a safe play here. And it's just, he just has to get it. Because he'll either burn the Protect or he'll switch into Skarmory. His Skarmory's very low, and he needs it at a good amount of health for Zygarde. On the other hand, I have not shown him a lot of my... I think I've shown him Ice Punch, and that's about it. So, I think the correct play is for him to actually stay in and protect. But I don't blame him if he wants to pass it to something else. Oh, it shows when you have Wish. That's really cool. I didn't notice that. It only stays up for one turn. I've never had a turn last that long. So, the fact that I'm able to Parting Shot, and Pure Power is the thing that affects my attack. So, if he goes for Foul Play, it's not off of Pure Power's hit. Which means that it won't hurt as bad, especially with the -1 on him. And we just have to keep up the momentum on him. That's pretty much where we're at. Very interesting. There's a play I think he could do if he really wanted to be frisky. But if he I think he should stay in and protect. Oh, but he switches. Does he go to Skarm? No, he goes to Victini. So, I don't know if I can take him out from 50%. Probably not. Oh, okay. That's really cool, son. I have shown... That was a little unfortunate, too. Sometimes you get your hazards up, you get your everything right, and you roll weird. I need to keep my Silvely at a good range of HP. So... we'll get rid of him here. I need to ease that switch. He hasn't really shown me much. But I'll bring this man in because webs are up. And he will be slower than me. He doesn't have a lot of solid switch-ins to this. Because this thing's gonna take some rocks damage. And it's gone. So my stealth rocks and my webs are here to stay, as far as I know. In a very good position for Mega Medicham. As much as I would have just loved to immediately Dragon Danced. It was not a risk I really wanted to take. So the one thing I do think he could go for is Umbreon here. That makes a lot of sense for him to do it. Because Mega Mawile is just very risky to do here for him. His Sucker Punch won't do much. He could play rough. That is an option. But honestly, I would stay in and call that bluff. If he's calcing that in terms of, you know, how much that would do. I have a few other mons that can potentially work that out. Mega Mawile, it's not over yet. Mega Mawile is just absolutely terrifying, but I think once that out of the way, we're going to get a lot of good breathing room. And yep, here's the threat with the Intimidate. If she's Intimidate, that's a problem. Yes, she was Intimidate. So... how will I ease this? Huh. Let's see. This is a tricky spot here. I have a few ideas. Let's try this. This has been a very bristly... it's been a very good well-tempoed game, I should say. I'm a big fan of how it's going. We've both taken very opportune pauses to really think things out. It's refreshing, because you know that there's actual thought going into every turn. And it's a very reasonable amount, too. But Zygarde's too important. Zygarde is far too important. He's Substitute. So... that should be fine. If he sub-SD with Play Rough and Sucker Punch, he could also just be sub-3 attacks as well. I'm still faster than it. Sucker Punch won't knock me out. I've got a really good amount of HP. And I have Flamethrower. I think he was supposed to Mega turn 1, so... I don't know why he didn't. So, we lose it. A little unfortunate. I think I'm in a better... no. No. Wait. I didn't see how much HP he had. Yeah, he would have had the same amount of HP anyway, so it's all good. I need to get some chip. So he has sub. He's probably just sub 3 attacks. Tricky, 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 tricky. Let me run some quick numbers here. Let's see. Mega Mawile. Well, he's thinking too. Shut up. That does not do that much. Does it? What? No way. No way. Really? Wow. I had no idea it did that much. That's really, really good knowledge to have. Whew. So, in comes this, which is the Umbreon. And then that's... Now, do I... He'll either wish or he'll protect. Is what I'm thinking is gonna happen. Let's see. How kind will that roll be? Okay, yep. Glad I got that right. Kind of had a little feeling there. Now, would he go for the double? I don't think he would go for the double. No way. Tricky, 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 tricky. It's tricky to rock a rhyme. To rock a rhyme, that's right on time. It's tricky. He went for the double, and he whiffed it. Umbreon's down. Important. Very important. So we got Peacock. Now, I think I know what he wants me to do here. I think he wants to coax me into going for the Thunder Punch. But, honestly, like... Why would he bring that in like that? That's really curious. Unless he is scarfed and he's risking the speed tie. But if he's scarfed and he doesn't go for Glaciate, then I set up. So... he might just be bringing it in to sack it. That could be it. And even still, if it is Scarf Jolly, he has a 50-50. He could still lose it. So, oh wow, this game's been going on like half an hour pretty much. Okay, so that's fine. That means he is scarfed. I'm actually pretty okay with this. He really wanted to risk that. And I haven't shown him Dragon Dance, I just showed him 1,000 Arrows. And I've got a really good amount of HP too. Plus webs are still up, so I will outspeed his Jolteon afterwards, his Mawile afterwards. Like that's a play he wanted to make there. And if he's random ass Sash Jolteon, you know, that won't work out. He could also miss Blue Flare as well, is a consideration. But I don't agree with that switch in for him. I think going into Mega Mawile and risking the Sucker Punch roll probably would have been more secure there. Because I'm pretty sure he did have a chance to KO me at that range of HP. I was at about 70, and I've done the numbers on that, and it's, I think, like 68 to, like, 77 or something like that. So he could have gotten it. But all of his mons are weak to 1,000 Arrows now. But the only reason I don't immediately start clicking buttons is because I want to be faster than Victini when it comes back in. So, we'll just shift that balance for a second there. And I just clicked 1,000 Arrows. Because even if he's a Scarf Jolteon, I'm Yachi Berry. Mawile can't knock me out with a Sucker Punch, and Victini's slower. I do still have to fear, reasonably, a critical hit Sucker Punch. Is a thought. But this is my favorite part about drafting Zygarde. It's to get to the part where you just click them. Because that's what 1,000 Arrows does. And then Mawile Mega Mawile is his last. I don't think even has any possibility of being able to take me out from full with Sucker Punch. And I think it was really important to bring Smeargle. Smeargle probably won me this game here, ultimately. Webb's offense with Zygarde and Mega Medicham has been very valuable for me in a few matchups now. And I don't want to speak too soon here, but I feel like I could be okay. The game is not over. I really want to reiterate that the game is definitely not over. Because we can have some weird shit. I'm not sure what Mawile can do, but Sucker Punch is his play there. Does not do anywhere near enough. And that is going to do it, my friends, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube and on Twitch. Your Seattle Silverlees are able to take a Week 5 win 2-0. And, yeah, wow, Imprison definitely locked down the Skarmory from being able to blow them away. And, that just, it put a wrap on it. Imprison Defog was something I thought for Skarmory and Togekiss, and I'm so glad I went there. Because that was so important. So important there. Alright, I can jump immediately into Locker Room right after this. Just to kind of show you guys my thought process on everything. Gengar did not actually do anything, which is kind of funny. I actually brought Gengar to prepare specifically for Mienshao. But I'm gonna go ahead and, I'll show that off. Gengar stayed smiling is what he did. Gengar was a good dude. So let's see. We can try to calm this down. Alright, so... Alright. So let's go immediately into locker room right now. And then after locker room, I'll go ahead and do everybody's favorite part, which is the beans. So, I'm gonna go ahead and actually switch to my regular face cam layout. Just to kind of show you guys my thought process on everything. So we'll start with Silvally. Silvally, I thought about it, and I realized that the only real thing I have to fear is Jolteon. And with Jolteon in mind, I did have a lot of weaknesses with that in Starmie. But, you know, Silvally versus Jolteon was not a matchup I really planned on having too much. And the EV spread here, I think I actually had to specifically outspeed base 80s. The HP investment is to take V-Creates, and the special attack investment was, I think, just my filler there. But, oh. So I had Flamethrower for Mawile. I had Surf on here specifically for Victini, for Gliscor, for a bunch of other stuff. And then I just had Parting Shot for Pivot, because Pivot would have been valuable. And I actually got to do it a lot on the Umbreon, which worked out great there. Next up, we have Gengar. I actually had a Ghostium Z Gengar, because I wanted to be able to just completely nuke something, and I didn't want to have extra Life Orb on it. I had Protect, specifically to scout for the Scarf Mienshao in case it wanted to go for the knockoff. And I had Will-O-Wisp for Mawile Sucker Punch. So if it came down to that, I would have tried to go for Willow there to show that off. But he did have Sub potentially prepared for that, so it goes without saying that probably wouldn't have been too beneficial there. And then I just had Dual Stab. I didn't really have any other reason not to do that. But I wanted a Z move, and I didn't really want it on Zygarde. So I figured, you know what, we'll put it on Gengar instead of Life Orb. Coverage would have been nice there. But I knew in order for Gengar to do something, I would have had to bring it in safely. So, Medicham, this is bread and butter. Like, we all know how Medicham works. It's pretty much just, you know, I ran priority, Fighting Stab since there was way less, resist to it. Victini doesn't really take a high jump kick too well in webs anyway. The main thing I was worried about was Scarf Mesprit, and I was worried about Xatu. But Mesprit, after Mesprit was gone, I was pretty much free to just a high jump kick at any point in time. And then beyond that point, I had Ice Punch for Gliscor, which was a possibility there. And I had Thunder Punch for, like, every Mon on his team. I had it for Skarmory, I had it for Togekiss, I had it for Victini. That way I didn't only have to run that, and I could have hit Victini decently. As you saw, it did like 50% to Victini, which is freaking amazing. And the reason I actually run High Jump Kick is because I absolutely wanted to get rid of Mawile. If it came down to it and I was at full HP and it tried to Sucker Punch me, and I High Jump Kicked it, I would have gone for damage. Sometimes you just really need that nuke, and having that nuke in that matchup thankfully did not fuck with me too much, because Umbreon I knew was gonna run Protect. So it's just a matter of playing around Umbreon correctly, which I did. I was actually kind of surprised with myself that A, I did, and B, I did not miss any high jump kicks. So MC Chamber actually really brought some stuff home there. And then here, this one is very similar to what I brought in week 2 with Skill Swap, because you need something. If you're going to set up hazards, you need to be able to tango with opposing hazards as well. And being that I saw that he had all defoggers and no spinners to my knowledge, I'm pretty sure. I think he had 2 defoggers and no spinners. I wanted to be able to shut down opposing Stealth Rock if I had the opportunity to, and opposing defog as well, which basically for a lot of Skarm sets shuts off at least one move on them. For Togekiss, it shuts off the defog if they're brought up from Gen 4. For Gliscor, it would have shut off the Stealth Rock. Nothing on his team got Web, but I knew I wanted Rock and Web, and it was really hard to try to pick only 2 moves, because I usually run Rock, Web, and Spore, and then Filler. But I needed to shut off hazards, is what I had to do there. So, at that point in time, you know, that's what I ended up doing there. Zygarde was kind of an interesting thing here. I did not want to run Draconium Z, because he had a Mega Mawile. and I didn't want to waste my Z move there. It was what I wanted to bring last game, but I unfortunately left leftovers on it on accident, so that didn't work out. I remembered a good filler move is probably Pain Split, because Zygarde will more than likely coax a lot of switches anyway, so if I was low enough on HP, reasonably speaking, I wanted to keep Zygarde as healthy as possible, but sometimes stuff happens. Sometimes, you know, you end up with a Skarm with a fuck ton of HP, and you can Pain Split on the Whirlwind or something like that, or you can Pain Split on the Wish Pass or something like that. You know, it would have been there, since really all Zygarde needs to do is just click 1,000 arrows. And then on top of the fact that Mega Mawile was there just really led me to not bring Outrage. So I was like, I'm going to bring something else. I'll bring Priority, I'll bring Main Stab, I'll bring Boost, and I will bring Split. I had Yachi on here specifically for Jolteon's HP Ice, Victini's Glaciate, as well as Mesprit's Ice Beam. He has a lot of ice attacks on his team, and that's why I decided Yachi was a good play here. I didn't actually end up taking an Ice move, but if really push came to shove, that's what would have happened. Starmie, another variant on a bread and butter set, 3 attacks, Rapid Spin with Life Orb. Didn't do too much this game, or in both games, unfortunately, but the coverage that it offers does force a lot of switches, which is something I actually did want to have going on. You know, with Bolt Beam and Scald. I was considering Psychic for Mienshao, but I remembered he does have Umbreon, and, you know, getting a burn on Umbreon would have been nice. Starmie doesn't really care about a burn too much. Burn and Life Orb would have added up too much there. But, I mean, outside of that, that's what I had going on. So, to recap, I had Water Silvally for Victini and coverage. I had Gengar as a nuke with Will-O-Wisp for Mega Mawile, Protect for Mienshao, Protect for scouting general stuff. Bread and Butter Medicham. This was kind of a more techie Smeargle. I do like to do that from time to time. People have already noticed that the Smeargle's up to shenanigans. Zygarde did not necessarily need to do Pain Split or anything. It just kind of did what it was supposed to. So after he tied with a Medicham in webs, I was just like, okay, well, you're definitely choice. I'm just gonna go ahead and boost, and then it just did the thing. So, and then Starmie. So that's a lineup. I'm still a little, like, frazzled in the head, because I was in, like, straight-up thinking mode. I'm not like, what the fuck is a chicken sandwich? That sounds really good right now. So, I'm not actually going to shut off the stream or anything like that right now, but I will shut off the recording. So, that's actually going to do it for my draft video and my locker room video. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you can leave a like rating, you know, comment, rate, subscribe, do that stuff. And those of you on Twitch, stay tuned, because we're going to keep streaming a little bit after this, and we'll kind of talk a little bit more about the game after that. So, yeah, see ya.